don't waste years like I did trying to believe in indicators and make you profitable. Do not do that. Rule number one is learn market structure and learn your candlesticks. The higher the time frames are, it's kind of crazy. The more you can read it, and they respect the higher time frames, like the weekly and the monthly. If we've got a bearish engulfing on the weekly, then I know it might do a little retest to try to get all the little scaries out, but eventually it's going to keep falling down. It took me 2 years to be profitable. So it took 2 years of buying challenges, blowing through them. Like it took two years of that, and just keep learning from your losses, and eventually that stuff would click. The power of consistency and patience, that's going to take you a long way no matter what you do. So it don't matter if you want to be a chef, a professional trader, basketball player, anything. Just have that consistency and have that patience behind it, and everything else is going to fall in place. And keep your faith in God. Everything is going to fall in place.
To be where you are at 21, like that is like an accomplishment in itself. I wish that I could have been where you were at 21. So it's great to have you here with us today. Do you want to just give a quick introduction into who you are, where you're from, and how you got into trading?
All right. First and foremost, I just want to give all glory to God. Without him, none of this would be happening. But first and foremost, my name is Griffin Cross. I'm 21 years old. I currently stay in Houston, Texas. And we're just going to rewind time. This is how I got into trading. This is how I started. So it's currently 2024. So 4 years ago in 2020, it's like when Corona started, the virus started shutting down on like a lot of the United States stuff. And I was playing basketball. I'm 6'8", so I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, I'm good, but it's like I got bad tendonitis. That's like for all the athletes, like if you're a jumper, etc. Yeah, your tendons. It takes a lot of toll on them tendons. So I'm sitting there like, man, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think like if I'm barely surviving high school practice, college is like 5 times worse. So I'm just taking it into consideration. Like, man, I know it's a lot of different ways to make money out here, and I feel like I would just take the risk of putting 4 years like I would in college into my own self, like investing it into myself. So I moved from Chicago back to Houston, and when I got down here, my friend he was telling me about, he's kind of like on the same track. He got into trading, so he introduced it to me, and basically the first person I started watching, shout out to Swaggy C. I started watching him. He's got like over 400 videos on YouTube of trading and stuff. So, and this is me not knowing anything. So I had to start from the very beginning, like to the simple stuff of what's a pair, what's a lot size. Like I had to start all the way from the beginning, like from knowing anything. So I started watching his videos, and then for the people who's trying to learn, what I would say is like not even just with his videos, but just learning. Like what I used to do is I used to literally no life it, like how kids my age will play the game all night into the morning. I kind of took into consideration like if I can sit here and play Call of Duty or 2K all night, why can't I do the same thing and invest it into myself, which will pay off into the long run.
Yeah.
So I just started no life in the videos until I knew them like the back of my hand, and then once I like got comfortable or reading his charts, I went into TradingView, and I can't lie. I remember the first time I opened TradingView, I didn't know what I was looking at. Honestly, it just looked like a heartbeat system where it was just like this. But like once you learn and stuff, you learn stuff like support and resistance, or you get your moving averages on the chart. It kind of makes reading the charts more easier. So, but yeah, since 2020 all the way into now, I just been learning and getting the hang of the stuff, and then that's basically it.
Okay, cool. Are you trading full time, or have you got a job as well?
So I have a 9 to 5 on top of me trading, but like it's kind of like full time ish with the 9 to 5, because I have a chill 9 to 5 which I can be on my phone and look every now and then, see what my trades are doing, see what TradingView's doing. So, but like when I'm at my 9 to 5, mentally I'm full time. I kind of got the 9 to 5 just to have something to do, so I won't just be at home playing the game or just like I don't know. I just like keep myself occupied.
Yeah. I think as well, from a lot of people that I've spoken to, it seems like people that do maintain a job on top of trading, they seem to find and even maintain a lot more success within trading, because I think people have this idea that full-time trading is like that's the end goal and that's what you want to be doing. But
Yeah,
realistically, if all you're thinking about is trading, that could actually be detrimental to the success of it. If you've got
yeah.
something else to think about and something else to do, you're not
Hmm.
constantly trying to look for trades and getting in bad trades just because you're bored. Do you think that keeping your job kind of helps you maintain success within trading as well?
Most definitely, because I would say if I were full time, and every trader loses every now and then, nobody's going to be 100%. So let's just say you don't have anything else to do, and you just take a loss, whether it's a big one or small one. Like it's probably going to take a toll on you. And some people like to revenge trade, so you've got nothing else to do, so you might try to okay, I'm gonna try to make that back, and then you end up double losing. And like, yeah, man, you just gotta keep yourself occupied. Like if you win a trade, just take it the same way as you was going to lose a trade. Just take it and just go on about your business, or just go find something else to do. That's what I would recommend, me personally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. And I think it is important for people that are coming into trading to understand that trading full time should never be trading full time. You need
Yeah,
to have something else to keep you occupied because, like you say, if you take a loss, if you've got nothing else to do, no matter how disciplined you are, you're going to want to look at that chart. You need to
yeah,
find other things to do. And if it's not a job, maybe like a side hustle or your own business or something that keeps your mind occupied away from the charts. Absolutely.
yeah. I feel like especially like if you have that entrepreneur mindset, you would want more branches of income than just trading itself. So you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That fits right into what you just said. So finding a lot of more streams of income and keeping yourself busy, I feel like that's the way to go.
Absolute facts. Absolute facts. I think that is so important. Having multiple streams of income, even if you have a job and you're trading, trying to find something else, like starting your own business, that needs to be kind of the end goal. And I never think that trading should be the end goal either. I'm probably going to
Mhm.
go off on a bit of a tangent about this, but I
Yeah,
do think it's so important for people to understand that if you're trading, you need to have something where your trading profits can go into rather
yep,
than just getting paid from trading and spending it, paying bills. You need to
yep,
have something, assets that you're putting into that will pay you like a long to go a long time. You
yes,
need to have that
that's
generational aspect of it.
yeah.
So yeah. So going to more of like a mindset aspect now, do you think that you have like a pivotal moment in your life, like away from trading before you even started trading,
Mhm.
something that you can kind of think of that somewhat shaped your mindset into being a trader? So whether that's like discipline or patience or something that kind of shaped an element for you that helps with your trading.
If I'm being honest, the pivot point in my life is I know this happens to every teenager my age, but a couple years ago, I was talking to a person, and just like your typical 19 or 18-year-old, it doesn't work out. So I feel like that was like a gift. A gift. It felt like a curse at the time, but it low key was a gift because at the time I was still like learning how to trade, but I feel like I was giving like 90% of it into the trading and like the other 10% into that person. So when that person was like me and that person was no longer, I could fully like lock in, fully like learn, fully take all the time I needed just to learn the trading technique that I'm currently doing. So I feel like that pivoted my life, that right there. And then you said besides trading, right?
Yeah.
So that point right there, besides trading and the thing that I like, and on top of that, I chose not to go to college too. So I feel like them two together was like I mentally told myself whatever I do besides college, I'm going to treat it like college, but 110 times more because I mean, if you don't, yeah, if you don't do that, then your future might not look bright. So I feel like those two right there was my pivot points. Were like, okay, Now it's time to kick it into gear and really go serious with this stuff.
Okay, that's interesting. Do you think that if you were to go to college, you would be able to still trade as well as working? Or do you think that if you went to college, that would just completely throw things
That's a good question.
out the
I
way?
feel like I probably could, but I have friends that's in school, and you know how you just talk to your friends regularly. I feel like playing sports on top of keeping your grades up, and then let's just say like if the like, because I wasn't profitable until the beginning of 2023. So if I would have did that in college, me blowing accounts and failing them and failing them and failing them for my first 2 years of college, I feel like that would have took a major toll on me. Like
Mhm.
I'm already getting up early, lifting weights, going to practice, coming home, doing homework, and I'm blowing accounts. I feel like that probably wouldn't have, like I yeah, that would probably be too much, honestly. So I feel like if I was a profitable trader, like since my first year of college, yeah, I could like if how I am now, like let's just say I just like right now it's my first year of college. Yeah, I could do it honestly, but back then, no,
Mhm. Mhm.
do it.
Mhm. I agree. So when I went to university, so I started learning how to trade in, I want to say 2014 now.
Mm-hmm.
2014, 15. Um, then I was in college. So in the UK, it's a little bit different. So we have college and then university. So I
Mm-hmm.
was in college, learning, but then as soon as I started university, I had to take a step back from trading because it was so much pressure being in uni and working
Mm-hmm.
that I think if I added trading on top of that, it would have been awful. And I
Yeah.
had a few awful years after uni with
Mm-hmm.
trading, but I think if that was all going on at the same time, I think that would be a lot. So I think, what would you advise someone who is in a position where they're now thinking about, right, okay, so I know about trading, I'm not profitable, but I also am thinking about going to college. What would you say to that person that's trying to make that decision of, should I go to college and continue trading, or should I just focus fully on trading and go all in with that?
Well, I always believe in if you start something, finish it. So for the person, if you started college already but thinking to go to trading, I would say finish what you started. But if you want to take the opposite route, I would preach to the person, don't waste years like I did trying to believe in indicators and make you profitable. Do not do that. Rule number one is learn market structure and learn your candlesticks.
Mhm.
That's what I would say. Because in trading, that was my pivot point right there. Like my first 2 years of trading, I I was on YouTube watching videos like, oh yeah, this indicator, like for instance, the RSI. I was on YouTube like, wait, they have indicators to where you can just press like you can read an indicator and it makes money for you. My first 2 years of trading, that's all I was doing. And when I was trying to pass prop firms, fail, 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 fail. Then I got tired of failing, and I was talking to my friend because we both started at the same time, but he became profitable before I did. And then we were just talking, and like every time we'll get on the phone or we'll text, he'll tell me, "Look at the daily time frame. You see this candle." And me sitting there pretending I know what he's talking about with the candlesticks, I had to take that realization, like, oh, he knows what he's doing. Like he knows how to read candlesticks. Maybe that's why I keep failing all these prop firms. And I stopped trading. I took like a 2 month off of just trading and trying to pass prop firms and dedicated my life to learning candlesticks. And after I learned candlesticks, like I was using Quizlets, I was on PowerPoints. I'm like literally falling asleep learning candlestick patterns until I knew them like the back of my hand. Once I memorized the patterns of candlesticks and market structure, I kid you not, after that it just been up from there. Like so I would preach to any person. It's okay to use indicators because I still use indicators now, but I use them as confluences, right? Instead of like, okay, I see this is here, I'm about to get it now. No, I still use indicators, but I would preach to the person, learn market structure, and then everything else will fall in place. Once you know how to read the charts and read the reversal patterns or read the higher time frames, then you know what I'm saying, stuff will start to fall in place and you'll become, well, I don't want to guarantee you'll become profitable, but you'll have a higher chance of being profitable than just depending on the indicator.
I like that little disclaimer at the end.
I don't want to be like, oh, if you do this, you're nah. Like with this stuff, what people don't realize, it's not 100% guaranteed. It's really what you know, what you learn, and correlating that onto the real charts because anybody can go learn some stuff and hop on a demo account and just get in the trade without no worries. But let's just say you tried out for a prop firm, or even if you're on a live account, once you place that first trade, that's when stuff start to get real. Like all the stuff that you learn, all the stuff that you put your time into is basically like anybody playing a professional sports. What's the point of putting all that practice in if you're not going to do it into the real game, or when playoffs come, or when you're in the Super Bowl, the national championship, the finals, like whatever you want to correlate to? What's the point of practicing if you're not going to do it in the game? And you could correlate that to learning, going from a demo account or going to a live prop firm or putting your money into a live broker.
Mhm. Absolute facts. And I think what you said about market structure as well, I think that is a big one.
Yeah.
I believe in purely market structure. Like that is where the money's at.
Yep.
All of these different indicators, like you say, like there's indicators telling you exactly where to buy and sell, and
Mm-hmm.
all of those kind of things are just I think they just take away from the whole point of trading. Trading is about the charts and those candlesticks that are on that chart and how well can you read
Mm-hmm.
exactly what those candlesticks are telling you. I think when you start bringing in indicators and stuff like that, like you say, as a confluence, that's
Mm-hmm.
great. But if you're solely relying on those indicators, that's not trading. And I will stand on that
Yeah, that's
because,
not trading at all.
yeah.
And 8 times out of 10, the indicators will let you down. Like I can give you an example. I think this is like my first year going on to the second year I was trading, right? And I was using the RSI, and then on top of that, I bought a $300 robot that will get in trades for you, put the stop loss for you, put the take profit for you. And I didn't have a 9 to 5 at the time. I think I was doing DoorDash or Instacart, and I was just doing that for like a month and a half or 2 months straight, and ran up like $1,000 and put it into a live broker account, and was like, oh yeah, I've got a trading robot for me. Robots are not going to lose for you, and I'm going to use the RSI. Like I was just sitting there thinking like, okay, this is my way out, and I threw the $1,000 into the broker, and it was probably like a week and a half. The robot was trading for me, and I deposited $1,000 into there, and before I knew it, I was like negative like 600. And think about it, I dedicated a whole month and a half of my life into it, and it's just going down the drain. So I'm sitting there like hurt, almost thinking like, yo, am I getting scammed? What's going on? This is a robot. I'm supposed to be winning. Like I'm thinking I'm gonna be Tony Stark. Nope. For like, nah, I would not put trust into indicators. Honestly, I wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Talking about the bot as well. Where did you go with that? How was that?
Man, I still have the bot on my computer, but I don't like after I lost that 600. And then here's the funny thing. So I lost that 600, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna lose any more money. I'm just going to. So I ended up taking the money out, and I let the bot run on like $100,000 demo account just to see if okay, maybe I just got bad luck. No, even on the demo account, I was getting cooked on a demo account. So I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, you can't trade putting your faith into bots. Like, you have to go out there, put in that work, learn, and that's just the bottom line. You have to go out there and put in that work, and you have to you can't be lazy about it. Basically, long story short, you can't be lazy, or else you're just not gonna be profitable. I mean, you could a little bit, but consistently profitable, yeah, you have to go up there and learn the fundamentals, the basics.
Yeah, absolute facts. And I think one thing that I've noticed personally with bots as well, I've never used them, but
Mm-hmm.
seeing what I've seen other people go through, it seems like bots kind of they work sometimes, but then they don't work all of the time. So obviously bots can't figure out the market cycle. The bot is just ran on exactly what settings the bot is like what it's told to do basically. So if
Uh-huh.
you come to, I don't know, summer or Christmas when the markets aren't moving exactly how they're used to moving, the bot is still going to run on the same settings, but the market cycle's changed, so it's not going to work for that, like how market is the moving at that particular time. So I
Mm-hmm.
think when it comes to bots, I think they can be really, really good. But I think, like you said, you need to learn how to utilize the charts and how to read the charts before you even think about using a bot. And then
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're going to use one, learn how to either program one yourself or find a developer to do one for you. But then also take into account the fact that the market moves in cycles. So it needs to be adjustable to be able to really make sense on a long-term basis. But like I say, I think that is for like seasoned traders who know exactly what they're doing, but are just like onto bigger and better things now, but still kind of want trading running in the background. For me, that is the only time that I would even think about using a bot, like at this stage that I'm at now. So yeah, I think bots are great, but I think you just have to be careful about what you're using, where you're buying it from, and if you are going to use one, then just try and do it yourself.
Yeah. I feel like if you're gonna take the time out your day to make a bot work, you could use that same energy into actually learning market structure and learning how these things move.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, I was listening to what you were saying. I thought it was just me, but for 2 years in a row, like trading in the summertime, I would say from like the end of May into July. Is it the same thing for you too? Like the markets really don't move how they usually do?
Yeah, always around summer and around Christmas. It's never the
That
same.
I thought it was just me. So hearing somebody else say that the market is like the summertime, okay,
Mm,
like it
mm.
gives me leeway. That's
Yeah.
actually great.
Yeah. I know for a lot of people, they actually prefer trading around summer and Christmas because liquidity is so low.
Mm-hmm.
There are pros and cons to it because liquidity is so low. It is in some way easier to read, but at the same time, it's easier to manipulate. So you could have just a random 100 pip move on GBP JPY with no news, nothing has happened. It's just so easy to manipulate because there is so low liquidity. So I think for some people, it can be great, but then for other people who find more success during like not summer or not Christmas, it works
Mm-hmm.
different. So I think it's just different for everyone. And again, you have to kind of adapt to the different market cycles. Like I've said, like you have to learn that the market moves in cycles and understand that sometimes the market's going to move a lot different to what your strategy is set up for. And that is where the experience comes in of just learning when the market moves differently. Okay, so going onto your personal trading, what would you say your strategy is?
So my strategy is I only trade on the higher time frame. So I guess you could say I'm a intraday slash day trader, I
Okay.
guess. Because the only time frames I really look at is the 4 hour, the daily, and the weekly. Because just from experience, like I've got like me learning market structure, I've got faked out many a times on the 1 hour or the 30 minutes or the 15. So I really don't like scalping either. I like kind of holding trades for like a couple hours or a day. Not like I don't really like getting in and getting out. So my strategy is I would let's just say today Sunday, right? So after I get off of here, I'm gonna go on my chart. I look at the daily first just to see what the candlestick ended the past 3 days or on Friday and Thursday because I stop on Wednesdays. So after that, okay, I see where it's going on the daily. I see like if it's a bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, like just see where the market's going. And then when I have that idea, if I want to buy or sell it, then that's when I would go to the weekly because the higher the time frames are, it's kind of crazy. The more you can read it, and they respect the higher time frames, like the weekly and the monthly and the daily. So I'll look at the weekly. If we've got like a bullish engulfing on the weekly, and I know most likely for next couple of weeks, it may like go retest but over time we're gonna go up or etc. Let's just say it's the opposite or it's bearish. If we've got a bearish engulfing on a weekly, then I know it might do a little retest to try to get all the little scaries out, but eventually it's going to keep falling down. So that's really my strategy. And then I mix that in with with, and I use like the ADX indicator, so
Mhm.
it tells you like the strength of where it's going, and then on top of that, I mix that in with the moving averages. I mix that in with the RSI, but I use my RSI different. I don't use the RSI when it's, oh, when it gets up here we're going to sell it, or when it gets down here we're going to buy it. I don't use it like that. What works best for me with the RSI is in the middle. Whenever it's shooting through the 50, that's when all the momentum comes in. That's when you rarely see drawdown. You'll just get like go straight into blues. So I mean, that's really my strategy. It's really simple. It's really not hard or nothing really technical. It's just reading the higher time frames and going with the trend. That's really it.
Mhm. It sounds very simple, and I think the more simple you can make trading, the better it is.
Mhm.
And you're right in saying if you can use higher time frames. So for me, higher time frames, that's where I get my bias. So is are we in an uptrend, downtrend? What's the daily looking like? But then I
Mhm.
will tend to enter on lower time frames. But
Mhm.
I think higher time frames are so overlooked these days. People
Yeah.
forget that they're there.
Mhm.
But I think if you can look at the higher time frames, get your bias, people will see a lot more success rather than just focusing on lower time frames. And I think utilizing the both, if you do want to use the lower time frames, that is great in itself as well.
And also on top of that, I would like to say that trend lines. Please use trend lines. Though they are so helpful, and it'll take some stress off of you guys. uh like it will just give you guys more breathing room. Like let's just say you have your stop loss behind structure, right? Or if you guys use the Fibonacci too, all of them Fibonacci levels, and then you have a trend line, like all of that will give you like breathing room to be like, okay, I'm not gonna be scared getting this trade. It's like especially for the people with higher accounts, like 100K, 200Ks, where you're dealing with a lot of more money. Um, use your trend lines, use your Fibonacci, and if you know market structure, I feel like there's nothing you should be worried about.
Mhm.
And okay, let's just say if it breaks structure, stop loss. Like to all the new traders out there, I want to preach this mindset to you guys because I used to do this myself. I used to look at setups and be like, oh, it's going to do this, but I'm scared to get in, and I wouldn't get in, and it does exactly what you
Yeah.
study and you thought it was going to do. So for all the new traders, let's just say you guys do loss. I feel like it's not a loss. I feel like it's actually a W because you got in, right? But it didn't go your way.
Yeah.
But you didn't miss out, right?
Yeah.
Like you took that little L, and that's the whole purpose of you having a good risk to reward ratio too, and risk management. So
Mhm.
if you're getting in trades, I would preach you guys, don't do anything lower than a 1 to 2, 1 to 3 at the best. One to three and higher is great. So just utilize all your tools and just use them, and just, yeah, I don't want to go off topic, but just all those tools that I told you guys, please use those. And
Mhm.
if you use those correctly, you won't have anything to worry about, honestly.
I agree. I think stacking complemencies, again, is something that's so overlooked nowadays. When I first started trading, stacking complemencies, like that is what was like the big thing. But now it's like if you're using a fib, then just use the fib, or if you're using support and resistance, or as people have now decided to call it, liquidity zones,
Mhm.
whatever it is that you're using, stack up as many compliments as that you can, and then like you say, that will give you a lot more confidence in whatever trade you are executing, because I
Mhm.
think a mistrade is sometimes worse than a stop loss trade, because if you miss that trade, then it hits your target, it goes exactly the way that you expected it to, you're then going to lack confidence in yourself. But if you have a system and you follow it and that hits stop loss, that's
Mhm.
okay, because we understand that it's the market and we're not always going to win. But I think definitely a mistrade is going to be more detrimental to your psychology than a stop loss trade.
And I feel like like another thing to get in your mind too, when you lose a trade, don't look at it as a loss. Like when you lose trades, you have to look at them and learn why you lost. So for next time, you know, okay, this is the reason why I lost last time. Okay, I know how to correct that, or I know how to not do that again. So you won't be a consistently losing trader. Everybody wants to be a profitable trader, right? So any loss that you take, learn from the losses, take time back and actually analyze and see why you lost. What's the reason why you lost? And then supporting it, like how you said, support and resistance too. I use those on the higher time frame. So let's just say if you're a trader that don't know where to put your take profits at, you've got two on the Fibonacci, and then your third one could be wherever your resistance or whatever your support is. Like everything works in confluence with each other. So you just got to make all of them work with each other. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It makes sense. Yeah, it's just stacking those confluences. It's so important. So, what has your experience been like with Bespoke?
So with my whole experience with Bespoke, I just want to say a big shout out to the CEO, Kale. At this point in the Discord, me and him are like best friends because we talk a lot. Um, I actually want to say a crazy story. So with my first payout with Bespoke, um, everybody who has requested a payout knows that they ask you for your bank information. And me being 21, I'm just going to take it with a grain of salt. They asked me for my bank details, and instead of sending them, like at the time, I didn't realize that your debit card at the back of your card number is way different from your bank number. So when I did all the bank details, and I know it's an international payment, so I made sure all the SWIFT codes and stuff was right, but I messed up and sent them my debit card number instead of my bank account number. So yeah, me doing that, I had to wait longer than what the regular time is. So that, and then at the beginning, I couldn't trade either. So I was just sitting there with a dark cloud over my head, like, dang, bro, what's going on? Da, da, da. So when I got on the phone with my bank, they asked me, like, did you send them your bank account number or did you send them, like, in the middle of them saying that, I was sitting there sitting like, oh my gosh. Whole time I just sent them my debit card number because I'm so used to paying stuff, right? Like everybody, like when you're finna buy something or when you're finna pay a bill, you put your debit card number
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I did that whole process and just like, yeah, that kind of delayed my payout. But other than that, it's great. Like I love in the Discord how everybody's a community. Like I even get some DMs from people in the things like, oh yo, how do you da 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 how do you do this? Because I think at a certain time, like when you're in the Discord and they know you're a funded trader, they give you a little badge.
Mhm.
So out of nowhere, I'm getting DMs like while I'm at my job. I'm like, how do these people know? And I'm like, oh, it's because I got that like the badge in the group chat. But other than that, it's fun. I love how every month you guys have a discount. I love that. And then you guys do the quizzes too. I feel like that's different ways to have fun with the community and like really bonding with the community instead of just being okay, we're in the Discord, this is the CEO, da, 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 da. Like I just like how it's almost like a community in there and everybody gets to talk to each other and it's just fun in the Discord. And then the ticket support too, like I like how fast you guys are responding with the tickets, like responding in the tickets, like for instance, this is my first time on the Zoom. So for instance, I made a ticket. I think his name is Eminem. Shout out to him. He just responded in like what, almost 2 minutes. I'm like, yo, I've got this interview today. I wanted to see if we're still doing it. He's like, all right, Texas Dairy, da da da. And then I just like how fast it is. It's almost like how me and you are talking. Like that's how fast it is. But yeah, you might wait like a minute or two, but it's fast compared to other companies, honestly. So I like it. I'll give it a 10 out of 10, honestly.
Okay, love that. 10 out of 10. Love that. Yeah, I think our Discord is probably like I'm not really clued up on like the whole Discord side of things. Like I'll pop in
Mm-hmm.
now and then to see what's going on. But I
Mm-hmm.
think it's like the amount of different games they do in there is so great for like a lot more for like the international traders as well, because
Mm-hmm.
it gives people bigger opportunities to like win challenges or just win different things. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that is one of the really cool aspects that we do have within the Discord is like you say, that whole community aspect. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I'm glad that you're enjoying it and like you say, 10 out of 10. So no
Yeah.
complaint, no complaints
Like,
there.
no complaints whatsoever about the company. I feel like it's fun, and shoot, I'm still here, so I just have fun while I'm doing it. Honestly,
How long have you been funded with us?
um, I've got my certificate up there since last year October,
Okay,
like
cool.
the the beginning of October. And it's crazy to say, like, for my goals of 2023, I was like by the end of the year, I at least want to start on the 100K funded, or at least have one. It's crazy. Like I wanted to do that by the end of the year, and I did it in October. So like that was one of my goals that I had for 2023. And then believe it or not, this right here is the like one of my lifetime goals too. Like I remember at the beginning of 2023, just sitting here watching motivational videos and watching other people get interviewed. I'm like, I know with the work ethic I have, I do it day in and day out. I know one day I'm going to do it. Then it's crazy how you guys text me like last Friday. I was at my job, geeked out, like, yo, what? Y'all want to interview me at all, people? I'm
Love
like, man,
that.
I was like, man, I'm down. Like, it's just crazy. Like, it's just crazy. And what I want to preach to everybody else, like the power of consistency and patience, that's going to take you a long way no matter what you do. So it don't matter if you want to be a chef, a professional trader, basketball player, anything, just have that consistency and have that patience behind it, and everything else is going to fall in place. And keep your faith in God, everything is going to fall in place. But other than that, I'll say
I
I'm
love
just
that.
happy to be.
Well,
I'm
it might
still
make you feel even more excited, the fact that you're our first interview for the year. You're
What's
kicking
up,
off
2020?
our 2024 round of interviews. So thank you for being our first.
Yes, whew, that just gave me a whole chill throughout my body. I don't even know.
Oh,
That's honestly crazy. Shout out to the people of 2024, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Just keep going. Wow, this is
yeah,
crazy.
I
Whew,
love that.
got hot. That's
Love
that's
that.
whew. Oh man.
Right. So for the final question, I don't know if you've watched any of our previous interviews, but the last question of the interview is a question from our previous guest. So I had to go all the way back through my notes because it feels like the last interview I did was so long ago now.
Mhm.
The last one we did was with Os, and his question for you is, so if you put yourself in the position of a mentor, what do you think of the people coming into the industry who blow through challenges, constantly failing, but posting like that one huge payout?
Mhm.
What advice would you give to the people who are watching that and looking up to them as their mentor?
Honestly, as a mentor, I would say like, of course, you got different traders where they only post their one win, but behind closed doors, they're just consistently blowing through accounts. Honestly, I would say as a mentor, everybody's their own trader. Even if you're a student at a mentor, okay, you can take the same trades as your mentor, but everybody goes through a different trade. Like everybody has their own trade.
Yeah.
So if I was you, being like just starting out and looking at that, it's going to take trial and error. Like, okay, you've got some people out there that can just learn this stuff and just be profitable in probably like 5 months, but everybody's different. It took me 2 years to be profitable. So it took 2 years of buying challenges, blowing through them. Like it took two years of that, and just keep learning from your losses, and eventually that stuff would click. And what I would say is to my new people, do not join MLMs, like the people that just sends out trades. Do not do that. I'm saving you time. I was doing that and depending on indicators for 2 years. So if I could get, well, I mean, we can't change the past, but do not join them things. Learn market structure and do it yourself. I promise you, in the long run, once you like able to just, I'm pretty sure you do it on Sundays. Okay, I'm gonna go mark up my charts for 5 minutes and be
Yeah.
good for the.
Yeah.
Do that instead of waking up on a Sunday and like, hopefully the things that they send this week can make me profitable so I can pay my bro. Don't do that. Learn the basics, learn the fundamentals. That's what I would preach as
Mhm.
a mentor.
Mhm.
Just go out there and do it yourself. Do not depend on anybody's else, because just don't do it. Like what? Like let's just say one day you wake up and the group chat's gone, and you just sitting there. Oh, how am I going to
Yeah.
make money? Scrambling and trying to look for other things. And what if they don't have the same win rate? Learn it yourself. Bottom line,
Mhm.
do it yourself. That's all I was.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? I think it's been a thing on Twitter this week of
Mhm.
signals. I hate signals, and I get it that there are good mentors out there that give great signals, and for some people they might work. I will never be that person that believes in signals. Like you say, your mentor could be giving you signals, it could be the most perfect trade, but you are
Mm-hmm.
not your mentor and you are not going to execute in the same way. Your
Mm-hmm.
mindset is not the same. You have to find your trade yourself and you have to
Mm-hmm.
execute them with the confidence that your mentor has, but it's your trade. And I think that is a massive thing that people coming into the industry don't realize. So if you are watching at home and you're thinking about buying signals or buying something that relates to signals, just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Do
Do
it.
not do it. Save your money. Do not do it. Because I would tell you this. Okay, you might get like I think I did this myself. I think we won like 2 or 3 times in a row, and everybody knows how indices are. Like now, me currently now, I only trade regular pairs, but back in 2022, I was trying to touch US 30, Nasdaq 100, SPX. I was trying to
We've
touch
all
gold.
been there. Yeah.
We've all been there. So let's just say, okay, you win a couple things, and they're like, and you feel good because everybody knows Nasdaq is you risk more money and you can make more money. So let's just say you make like well not make but like let's just say your TP hits on 3 trades. On the fourth one, you probably feel like the man. You probably feel like Bruce Wayne. Like, all right, I did like this group chat's good. And then let's just say you up your stop loss on the fourth trade and it doesn't hit. And not only did you lose the money that you just made from the last 3 trades, but you lose more. You might and that doesn't feel good when you taking somebody else's trade and it's not sure, like it's not you telling yourself you want to get in. It doesn't feel good. Like me, when I lose, I'm the one that told myself to get in, and I know where to put my stop losses behind structure and et cetera, et cetera. When I take an L, it's all on me, and I like that for myself rather than I take an L and it's because of the leader of the group chat sent this signal and it didn't like nobody wants to go through that. Bottom line, if you lose, I would rather take the loss on myself than take a loss from somebody else thinking they know what they're talking about.
So, what is your question for the next guest? Well, I have really enjoyed this conversation, and I think you've been one of the best guests that we could have had for our first of 2024. And being actually probably one of the youngest that we have interviewed as well. So
that is easy.
That is amazing. To be where you are at 21, like that is like an accomplishment in itself. I wish that I could have been where you were at 21. So absolute kudos to you, and I think you definitely have a very, very bright future in the world of Forex and obviously wherever you want to take it. And hopefully when you stack up that funding, you can get max funding with us and we can get you back on and maybe do an in-person interview next time.
That's a thing? Wait. Because if that's a thing, that's going to be my goal.
No, that's the thing. So at the moment, we're only doing them in the UK, but we never know. We might travel. You might come to the UK.
Yeah, I would most definitely come to the UK to do it in person.
There we go. Perfect.
So you said once I reach max, so let's just say I get a 400K and I'm getting consistent payouts on that, then I would probably say less.
Come through.
Write that right now.
You've got a new goal for 2024 now.
New goal for 2024. Going on to next year. That's crazy. All right. Whew.
But no, honestly, it has been great. I think the viewers at home are going to take a lot from you. Like I said as well, with you being so young, I think a lot of our younger viewers will take a lot of inspiration from you. So yeah, thank you very much. As always, guys, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And I will be back again very soon.